Very interesting. I hope Bob heard all that. Well, thank you all for coming tonight. One of the things I want to talk about tonight is signs. And a long time ago, I watched a movie, and I cannot tell you who the actors were. Can't tell you the name of the movie, anything, but I can tell you one thing. It really hit me, and it was all about these young kids. A boy from New York was going to Las Vegas, and his dad had him put in charge of this business where he was building this big department or something. And there was a young girl from Mexico who was coming up, and they ran into each other at a restaurant. She had to go to the bathroom, and he was on his way, and she went ahead of him and went into the man's bathroom, and because she had to go really bad, and so she came out, and he just like, So then a little later, they were somewhere at a bar or something, and getting something to eat, and they ran into each other again. And she goes, this must be a sign. And so then a little while later, she was detecting, trying to stop this this building and stuff for this area because she knew that it wasn't helping the community, and of course he was sent out there to build it up, and so they met again, and she goes, this is a sign, and everything to her was a sign, and her grandmother always taught her that there are signs everywhere for everything. And I thought, I never heard of signs before. I didn't ever connect it. And so, anyway, it's this whole movie is every time something happened, she would find a sign, like not just a sign, but something that made her think that this is what she was supposed to do, or this is where they were supposed to be. And so the whole movie ended up, it was really neat, and at the very end, they started, liking each other and stuff, and at the very end they split up, and then he went to New York, and then some little a little Mexican girl was sitting in the airport when him and his parents were going somewhere, and it happened to have the same name as this little girl, and he goes, that's a sign. I know what a sign is now. So he ran off and went back to Las Vegas and met the girl, and they lived happily ever after. But it was just kind of cool because they learned about signs, and I had never heard of signs before. But there are all kinds of signs for us to look at. I mean, really look at. When things happen to us, and not only signs out there, signs of how to go places, where to go, how to drive, whatever, but there's signs like all of a sudden we get this feeling in our stomach, and it's like, I think it's a sign I'm hungry, or we get a sign that my mouth's dry, I gotta have a drink, or I have a sign like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, it's really late. So there's signs of everything. And there are signs of, when you listen to people talk, you hear little things that connect with you, like, yeah, that's what I need to resonate with. So there are all kinds of things out there that tell us what we should be doing if we're paying attention to it. But the problem is most people don't pay attention to signs. I didn't even know what one meant, but now as I'm connected with signs, I watch them all the time. We are selling our store, and we're planning on it, and we're getting everything together. We've had a lot of people come in and say to us, I really want to buy your store. This is really I really want. And I honestly had a really bad feeling about one. I mean, it was really bad. I thought, And then we had another person come and ask. It was like, wow, I had the best feeling inside my stomach about this is right, So you got to learn to feel these signs. And like I was talking with earlier, who was I talking with about making oils and stuff, and they were talking about how skincare is bad nowadays. I mean, it's got so many chemicals in it, and anything you put on your skin goes in your skin. So it's toxic, so you got to be careful. It's not just in the mouth, it's on the skin too. And so, but you got to pay attention. Is this natural stuff? Is that good for me? You got to listen to your body and find out these things. So when you muscle test, your body will tell you if something's good or bad. That is a sign. Just because it's good for you doesn't mean it's good for you. Everything has a sign. Everything has a reason. And we all are made from energy. And all energy does is bring our frequency up or brings it down. And each person has their own frequency. And you get around certain people and you feel really good. And you just like, you want to hug them and know that they're really great. Other people, you get by them, it's like, you kind of want to back away. And that's an energy feeling, and it's a sign that, you got to pay attention to who you're with and what you're doing. So, there's so many ways of finding a sign of life. I'll never forget years ago when Ross Perot was running for president.
Yeah.
And the thing I just loved about him, as he said, it's not what we have to do out in the country. It's not where we go and helping out there. It's at home. Everything belongs at home. You start with you first, and then your family, and then your community, and you work out. Because when everybody is peace at home, the whole nation's peace. But we got to try and get peace within first. And I thought, that to me was the most remarkable thing I ever heard anybody say. And I voted for him just because of that, because it's so true. If we don't have peace within ourselves, if we can't find that right sign with us that we need to do right or we need to do different, then there's something wrong here. So, and a lot of people, they got, how do I say, they have different illnesses in their body. And I was listening to a YouTube today about it, a healer, and he was talking about people who are crippled and they just can't move, and they're just, he said that's anger that they're holding in their body. And he said when you get angry, he says your body stiffens up. And it does, because your body's not loose and free, and nobody needs or has to hold on to anger. Let it go. It's not serving you or anybody else. Anger is not a good thing. Hate is not a good thing. And when you have a lot of hate, your liver gets bad. And you don't have to be a drinker or have a lot of toxins in your body to have your liver bad. If you hate things and you're angry all the time, your liver's going to get really congested. So, listen to these signs. If you have this feeling, if you can push on your stuff right here, and if your liver doesn't hurt or anything, you got a good liver. If it's hurting, then you better start getting rid of a few little angers and things going on. There's just all kinds of ways to listen to the body. If you have a headache, what's causing my headache? You have to ask. There are signs out there, but you have to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. And the biggest thing is if you're not connected to the universe, they're not going to tell you. So you got to learn to be connected. Know that there is a higher power up there, and that when you're connected with the universe, it flows through you. Anything you ask is yours. You are meant to have everything anyway. But most of us are cut off because we don't think we deserve, or we don't think we can, or my family's not from that side of the track, or whatever. But we have to stop all this chatter in our minds and realize that we are perfect, and we have the good energy, and that we can do anything, and that we can have anything. So what we have to do is we have to change ourselves. Find what's going on within yourself. Listen to the signs. Listen to the gut feelings. Listen to your body ache. Listen to things that are going on, and change that. And you can only change it in your mind. You can't change all kinds of aches and pains. I mean, you put some stuff on it, but you got to change it here. When you change your thinking and think, I deserve, I'm wonderful, I can do this, I am great, you can do anything. Because you can let go of all your aches and pains. You can let go of things in your life, because if you're holding on to things that not setting you free, not making you happy, you're just going to get stiffer and harder and more achy and have all kinds of problems. So learn to let go of things. It doesn't matter. What happened yesterday, or what happened when you were a kid, or what happened, to somebody else is not your problem. Be happy. And that's just what it said. If you want to have a good, happy marriage, you got to be happy. And there are times it's a little bit hard, but all of a sudden you got to just stop and think, okay, time to let go. It's not worth it all. Love is more powerful than anything. And love is the only thing that's going to conquer you. So start reaching out, finding your sign. Ask, what is it I need to do? Every day is wonderful to meditate, or just take time, because when you're busy in your head all the time, you can't hear a thing. You'll never hear anything, because you're just going, and you're chatter. So what you need to do is just calm your mind down for a few minutes and ask, show me a sign. If there's something I'm supposed to be doing right now, let me know. Just close your eyes, and all of a sudden, something will happen. The other day I was sitting at my desk, and I had tons of stuff on my desk, papers all over, and I didn't know which one to look at first, and everything kept happening, and I just sit there and thought, what do I need to do first? And I just sat there for a minute, and all of a sudden, one of my employees brought in his Barb, would you take care of this? One more thing on my desk, and I goes, yes, that's what I need to do. So I started working on whatever she gave me. So, but you know, it's just that, once I did it, I just felt like at peace, and then I could work to the next thing and the next thing. But you know, sometimes we get so busy in this world that we forget to ask, and then we forget to listen. So it's very important that we do both. There are signs out there for us everywhere. But if you don't ask and if you don't listen, you're not going to know. But you can have anything and be anything. There's a really good book. It's called E Cubed, or E Square. Oh, one of them. She wrote one of each. So, but anyway, but it's all about learning to ask. And when you learn to ask, you just say, even if it sounds silly, say, I want to see a purple butterfly. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. Just say, I want to see a purple butterfly. I really want to see a purple butterfly. And then you have to believe it. And if you believe that you're going to see it and know you're going to see it, within a day or so, you'll see a purple butterfly. It might be on a wall. It might be in a picture. It might be open up on a, you just never know. It will happen. But if you ask and expect and know and believe, it will happen. And those things do happen. And you know, and she was telling in the book how this lady asked about this purple butterfly, and you think, oh, come on, it's winter, you're not going to see one. And she happened to be driving down the road, and all of a sudden she turned a corner, and there was one up. Somebody put some butterflies up on a wall, up on the side of a building where they painted it, and there was a purple butterfly. And she thought, oh my gosh, that's what I asked for, and there it was. But you know, things are out there for us if we just ask, and then we just recognize. When Bob and I were trying to sell our store, we had so many things going on. We didn't know how we were going to do it, why we were going to do it, or anything. So I sat down one day and I was thinking, okay, we need somebody to show us how to do this. And so I was at my accountant's, and she goes, you know, and I said, the only thing is I don't know what, I said, we know we want to sell a store, we know this. And she goes, oh, there's a guy who does this. I goes, really? Yeah. And she gave us the name and number. The guy came and he talked to us. He said, well, we'll take care of everything and show you, you know, how to take care of it. We'll even help the buyers to get it, to help you. I thought, wow, how wonderful. You know, it's just that I ask, and it just happens. You know, so, you know, everything we do in our life is all right here, starts here. So if you are getting somewhere, it's because you're not connecting, you're not paying attention, you're not asking, and you're not believing. So those are very important things. But you gotta learn to connect. You gotta learn to calm that body down and take a deep breath and just know that everything's gonna be okay. And know, and actually, when I ask, I don't ask, I say, thank you for helping me get through this day. And one day I said, thank you for a miracle that I'm gonna get today. And it was amazing, you know. We had a party, like, and my grandkids were there, and they wanted to go to Florida, and they said, Grandma, go with me. He goes, ah! I said, I'd love to, but then Bob said, go ahead. I thought, oh my gosh. So I thought, this is a miracle, because I would never get away like that, especially my grandkids, you know, just to go off with them. And it's like, wow. But it was just funny, because I just laid in bed, and every morning before I get up, I lay in bed 15, 20 minutes, I just close my eyes, and I just think of what I'm going to do all through the day, what I want to happen, how I want things to do. You know, I just let the day be there. And I don't worry about yesterday, I don't worry about tomorrow, I just, today. This is all about today. And sometimes I would think, okay, what am I going to wear? It's cold out, I'm going to do this, you know, that, you know. And I go on and chatter a little bit, and then I just lay there and be quiet. And all of a sudden I think, okay, time to get up and get going. And everything just seems to fall in. My mornings are great because I've already organized it in my head, because I already know, I've already asked, and I just let it happen. So, you know, there are signs, there are things to do, but you got to ask, and you got to think about it, and then you got to listen, and be connected, and know that it's going to be there. It always is. None of you, and I can guarantee you, have ever been without. You might not have had a meal one day, or you might not have had, you know, something, but it always comes back. There's always something comes. When you don't have any money, it'll come. And maybe not right that instant, but it does, because everything flows Everything flows. And sometimes it flows faster, sometimes slower. But if we wait and listen, it's always going to be there for us. We're always taken care of. Everybody is. Even homeless people, they are really taken care of. Because they're what they're doing, what they want to do. And if they're where they want to be, that's okay. Because that's their lesson to learn in life. And it's not just homeless people, it's everybody. You know, there are some things that are sad and some things that, but you know, a lot of things, and I don't want to say this as a rude way, I'm not, but these are things that we have to learn, lessons that we have to take through. You know, people going through deaths, and the people are going through divorces, and people who are going through, you know, job losses and stuff. There's always something coming better. If we believe it and know it, it always will be. But if you're going to sit there and poor me and don't get out and do anything, poor you. You know, what can you do about it? So what we have to learn to do in our life is look and know that everything is there for us all the time. And know that we are worthy and that we can have and be and do anything. All we got to do is ask and believe. So, you know, you pick your own sign. Everybody's different. What you want, I probably don't want, and that's okay. But I'm happy that you want it. And I want you guys to have what you want. And I want what I want, and I don't care if you're happy about me. I am happy about me. But we should all be on our own path, and we should all be doing our own thing. But, you know, it's all about life, and it's all about choices. But it's looking, and the seeing, is asking, and believing. So I keep repeating myself, but that's what it's about. And there's not much difference in it. So, you know, I don't know. I just know that I probably shouldn't tell this, but a friend of mine, actually more of a client, but she came in and she was having some problems. And I just said, you know, I could really help you. I could do a hand scan, tell you what you're lacking. I said you could do, you know, we could do all kinds of things, but I said, I think your problem is right here. You know, if you don't change your thinking, nothing's going to help you. I said, you can take every herb, you can take every oil, you can do everything you want. But if you don't change your thinking and believe that you're okay, everybody's thinking, I got a problem. My problems are worse than everybody else's. If you keep thinking you have that problem, you are going to always have that problem. You got to learn to let go. And you got to learn to believe and know that you can do this. And you know, sickness is because most of us create it. Because we just don't know what else to do. We don't know enough to love ourselves. We don't know enough to ask. We don't know enough to quiet and listen. So you can heal yourselves, all of you, every and any way. And I wish you the best, and I hope you all can find your own sign.